Hey, it's Gina at Tarot in Time. I'm here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the full moon in Capricorn that's happening this Wednesday, July 13th, 2:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's talk about this exciting full moon because it's Cancer season. The sun is in the sign of Cancer, which has to do with the mother energy, the nurturing energy, a need for safety, which I know that's definitely a hot topic on everybody's mind these days. With the full moon always directly across from the sun, so every July we have the full moon in Capricorn. So Capricorn rules all the grounded ways of being. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, and it's associated with the energy of the father or the disciplinarian. It has to do with, a lot of people just talk about it regarding career, which it definitely is career related, but it's really about foundation and the structure of your life and your roots. And it rules your traditions, your family traditions. I feel that it rules your family in general, those things that keep you grounded. It rules antiques and antiquated ways of being. So we're going to be looking now at what are our old ways, which things still work for us, what needs to change, how can we feel safe, how can we reparent ourselves in a way where we feel secure and grounded. So the interesting thing with this full moon is that it happens at 21 degrees Capricorn. So you want to look at your chart and see where 21 degrees of Capricorn falls, because that's going to show you what topics, what keywords, what areas we're talking about. And if you'd like to comment below with your time of birth, your birthday, time of birth, and birthplace, I'd be happy to tell you where that is hitting in your house. So feel free to do that. Now, 21 degrees Capricorn moon is going to be only 6 degrees away from the planet Pluto. Now Pluto, we know it rules the planet, the sign Scorpio. We know that Pluto rules death and rebirth, right? It likes to burn things up. It wants change. It wants your higher self to emerge. Pluto rules sex. It rules deep emotion. So it's a very powerful, powerful planet. Whenever Pluto is involved, you can expect great change. So I want you to envision this great change for the better, okay? Especially if it's things that have to do with your old ways of being, or if it has to do with your workplace, okay? These are all big, hot keywords right now. So the moon close to Pluto, across from the sun in Cancer, and the sun is hanging out with the planet Mercury. They're together. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication. Okay, so we know that there's some key words here. How you show up in the world, the sun, how you feel safe in the sign of Cancer, how you nurture yourself, how you speak to yourself, the sign of Mercury. Across from the moon, your most tender, gentle, emotional self. In this really earthy sign of Capricorn, which the moon in Capricorn, for those of you that have that natally, it's a little tough spot for the moon, because the moon is kind of your softest, I think of like your most delicateness. And when it's in Capricorn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, has this kind of energy, right? So sometimes people who have Capricorn moons can be a little hard on themselves. They need to know that there's a gentleness that needs to come in. So there is definitely, this is a time to bring in great nurturing change for yourself, especially the way that you speak to yourself and how that reflects out into the conversations that you have with others, okay? Now, it's also, this full moon is making a trine, which is considered a positive aspect, to the planet Uranus, along with the North Node. And you hear me talking about the North Node as kind of your soul's contract, why you came to this planet, your mission here. And so there's some really seriousness to this full moon as far as what's important, what stays, what is your roots, what keeps you grounded. And Uranus rules the sign Aquarius, right? It's that lightning bolt of change, of divine insight, of genius energy. So this full moon, you can be really open to the fact that there may be some new ideas that come in. There may be some sudden changes. Again, envisioning those changes for the positive. Now, another thing I find interesting about this full moon is that Capricorn, the moon in the sign of Capricorn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and we know that Saturn is in retrograde right now. So there's so many layers to this, right? And I'm sure there's tons of layers that I'm missing too. Again, why I call myself a student astrologer. So the trine with Uranus, with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, ruled by Uranus presently, we already know that there's been some themes of what needs to change. Now, Capricorn's not known for liking change, but Uranus is all about it. Okay, Saturn doesn't always like change. Uranus constantly bringing in new ideas, new technology. So this is a chance for change. I know change isn't always comfortable. As an example, I was always carrying around a big calendar with me, real heavy. I liked the paper. I liked writing in it. I liked looking back. I liked being able to go back and see what was going on. And I really didn't want to let go of that calendar. Now that feels very Capricorn to me, that kind of energy. Now, all of a sudden it's like, here's Uranus, that telephone, that iPhone that has that calendar in it, that wants to make my world lighter, that wants to bring me up to date, but I was holding on and not wanting to change. Now I finally made the change, and I'm adjusting to it, and it's great, and I feel lighter. So that was kind of an example of what I was feeling when I was talking about Capricorn trine Uranus, allowing these new ways of being, to see the benefit of it. And I know that it's hard to change, but then once we do, we can really, okay, wow, there really is something to this, okay? So, powerful energy, very exciting energy, I feel like. And then we're going to, well, I'm not going to get too much into other stuff, but by the end of the week, right after the full moon, Venus will move into Cancer. And so it kind of goes into like a little bit of a romantic time, very emotional connection with others. So I'm looking forward to that. But we're going to stay focused on the full moon. And please, if you have any questions, comment below. I would love to interact with people who are listening to this video. I'm trying out some new ways of doing the video, so please let me know if you have any feedback, and hopefully the quality of the video will be improving soon also. Okay, so let's jump into the cards and see what you need to know to make the most of this full Capricorn moon. Now, the first thing is a moon water reminder. Again, there's a video on YouTube if you want to learn more about making it, but it's just the basic idea of putting water outside cover to pick up the rays of the moon. And then we want to drink that. I take a big jug, and it has a cover on it. I put it outside. If you don't have access to outside or other seasons when it's colder, just put it in a window. Put it somewhere where it's still going to pick up those vibes, okay? It's great to drink it. I like to kind of pour off of it as we go, as the full moon's going, and I leave it outside a few days after. So you do what works for you. But this is a time of celebration, full moon. I look at it like the light is shining really bright from the moon, and it helps us to see our world more clearly, to see all those wishes that we've made on new moons, how things are growing, how things are taking root in our lives, and really being grateful for the things that we are, the positive things that we're growing in our lives. Okay, so I picked out some cards from the Moonology Oracle deck. And for pile number 1, it's the full moon in Capricorn, and it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. Pile number 1, this pretty heart stone here. And pile number 2 is full moon, surrender to the divine. And we have this pretty heart stone. And pile number 3 is be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. And we have another beautiful little stone heart here. So whichever pile jumps out to you first, that is the pile for you. So go ahead, let's get started. Pile number 1. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. And this beautiful little heart stone, this is carnelian. And I actually have a little information card for carnelian. It says, carnelian is a stabilizing stone that grounds and anchors one into the present. It removes fear of death and brings acceptance of the cycle of life. Improves analytical abilities and clarifies perception. Aids in making positive life choices and dispels apathy. Heals the body, protects against rage and resentment, provides warmth and energy, stimulates new thought process, increases motivation, and opens new avenues for success. Sounds great for a full Capricorn moon. Okay, so pushing through the fear, getting really grounded, moving into your new life. Let's see what you need to know. I haven't looked at any of these cards. I'm working with 4 different decks. And we're starting off with the Everyday Witch. And you have the 7 of Cups. Interesting how like this feels so, everything's like up in the air. There's all these choices. Not exactly grounded, right? But they all are full of really good things. So it's like almost like you just need to make a choice and move forward. Okay? Just decide you are on your spiritual path. You are moving in the right direction. And it's time to make a choice and move forward. Speaking of moving forward, here's the King of Wands. This is from the Modern Witch Tarot, which I love. It's a woman here in the King's position. This is a King of Fire. This is all about the bigger picture. He's a passionate, or she's a passionate queen, or king, I'm sorry. Let's rephrase that. This is a person in a position of power. I don't care about their gender. They are looking out at the world and how they want to live it and how they want to live from passion, from the heart. It's a bigger picture. Supporting the heart of the matter is the Enchanter. This is the Magician. And this is such a great version of him from the Forest of Enchantment deck. So you've got the Magician helping you, supporting you, and seeing the bigger picture of your life and making a choice and moving forward. The foundation card is the Emperor. So you have 2 major arcanas going on here. Major secrets of life, really important things. As much as I think of the Magician as ruled by Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, the planet, it's also co-ruled by Mars, associated with Aries, and that's what the Emperor is. So this is very dynamic, forward-moving energy. And let me just see where Mars is. Mars is in Taurus, and is it making an aspect to the moon? It actually, no, I don't think it is, but it's there in Taurus. So it really wants you to think about what's important, what's of value, and moving forward with those things. Now behind the scenes, we have the Sun from the Light Seers Tarot. Beautiful light shining in the background. The Wise Woman, this is the High Priestess. So you got a lot of majors going on, really lovely ones. This is energy of the Divine Feminine, this joy of the heart. Now we've got the 5 of Swords in your future position. So not everyone may agree with the choices that you're making. Not everyone may have the nicest things to say. They might be like, what is that person doing? What are you doing? What are you thinking? And there you are, just going, just trying, just getting your hours in. I always think about like 10,000 hours to success, and just getting that in and just moving forward into your life. And here's Temperance. So Temperance is such a card of expansion, of luck, of blessings. I'm really thrilled with the major arcanas that have shown up here. Right across the board here is the Wise Woman, the High Priestess, the Magician, and Temperance straight across here. Very lovely. So tapping into your intuition. We are in Cancer season, and it's a very psychic sign that can feel its environment, can feel what's going on around it. We have a moon close to Pluto that brings Pluto rules Scorpio, another very psychic sign. So I want you to pay attention to the feelings that are coming up in your body. Pay attention to any dread or any about things, and make sure that you pay attention to that, because it's going to lead you in the right direction. You need to use the word no often, okay? And less concerned about what other people are thinking about you, more concerned with how you're speaking to yourself. And this is a great time to transform that. I'm going to roll some dice. And I've got Saturn in Gemini in the 5th house. So Saturn rules the Capricorn moon. Saturn is in retrograde. Saturn wants us to look at our routines, our schedule, all those earthy things about our life, because Saturn is said in astrology to rule planet Earth. And then Gemini wants you to communicate, wants you to get involved in local community. It rules your environment. And the 5th house is Leo's house, the house of the heart, the house of childlike joy. And so there's maybe there's some rules that you have for yourself about fun, about joy, about sex, about all those kind of things. And now is a time to change the language that you're speaking to yourself with. So let's see, what else do I have for you? I'm going to pull 2 more tarot cards. Anything else that you need to know? This full moon, I have the 8 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands. Okay, here's the 8 of Wands. This is an interesting version of it. That tornado so reminds me of like Uranus energy, just fast air. And then the 9 of Wands. So there's definitely like a lot of stimulation. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of change. But it's kind of exciting. It's almost like the way is being cleared for you. There's a lot to oversee. Make sure that you're getting enough rest and ask for help. Okay? Happy full moon. Have a great week. Pile number 2, this beautiful Surrender to the Divine full moon card. So beautiful, from this Moonology oracle. And your stone is Amazonite here, which is about letting go of fear, moving into your joy, into your path, kind of relaxation energy. Okay, and your card was Surrender to the Divine, so kind of matches up. There's a lot of relaxation and a sense of safety as we surrender. Right? We surrender to our soul's mission here. We surrender to the bigger picture. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what you need to know. I haven't looked at any of these cards, working with a few different decks. You're starting off here. This is the Forest of Enchantment, and you've got the Weaver of Visions, which I do believe is traditionally called the Queen of Cups. She would be a Cancer queen. We are in Cancer season. Very intuitive, swimming in emotion. So trusting these feelings that come up. Now, yes, some feelings are going to come up of fear, yes, but then what's underneath that? Really paying attention to your body, paying attention to your dreams, paying attention to your dread, to when you feel that sense of, then really looking at, is this really the right thing for me? This Hanged Man here, I love that it's a woman. This is the Modern Witch Tarot. And she looks very enlightened, and she looks very relaxed, almost like in this yoga pose. So that's supporting, actually that is the heart of the matter position here in this reading. And so there's this need to kind of look at things from another perspective. Let's see what else we've got here. Supporting the heart, we've got the Strength card. I love this Strength card from the Everyday Witch. So she's just like, she made that tornado, that twister happen. She made that happen. She's on her way. She knows that that stuff needs to go. She's done with that portion. She's moving forward in her strength, in her power, in her beauty. And so, and it's very different card of this delay card. And this is like a mighty card of moving forward. So that's supporting the heart. You'll know when it's time to make the move and make it powerfully. Your foundation card is the Three of Cups from the Light Seers. This is a beautiful one. So this is your foundation here, is this Three of Cups. So the top, you had the Queen of Cups as kind of like showing us, reflecting what's going on right now. And the Three of Cups here, bound together, gathering together, looking at the stars, okay? So there's really this foundation. It's almost like you have this core group of people, but there are some things that you need to step away from. I'm not getting that it's this group. I'm getting that that's keeping you grounded, but there's some other things here that need to be stepped away from. In the background, we have the Page of Wands, very joyful, and the Strength card again. Very beautiful, Modern Witch Tarot. And actually that's coming in right next to the other Strength card. So this may be something that you've known for a while. There may be some situations. It's interesting that she's almost looks like a bride. Or purified. She knows there's something that's been lingering, and that she knows that she needs to make the move forward from. Here's the Six of Boons or Six of Pentacles. You know, this is an Earth card, Pentacles, but it really feels like, reminds me of that Cancer energy, because it's like she's safely in her home with all her little comfort, her little babies around her. And she's really like, looks like she's resting and recharging. But 6 is really a number of moving forward. So it's almost like when you need to take those pauses, when you need to kind of just go into that fetal position and just tell yourself that you're safe and that things are okay. That's part of moving forward. And here's another 6. Oh, this is the same card. This is 6 of Pentacles, and these are two different decks and the same card. Very different versions of it. But in both, she's kind of receiving the nurturing energy or the attention or the just the love that she needs. It's there. It's all around her. So I see some powerful changes coming in. That's something maybe you have been delaying for a while. And this is a really good time during this Capricorn moon to really think about the roots of your life, your foundation of your life, your family, your traditions, at what you want to be. What do you want it to be? And so I do see some changes, but the advice is to surrender, to relax, to find the way. This isn't like fighting. This is just like an awakening of what your true needs are. Let me pull a few more here. I've got the Four of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles again, and I placed it right over these other two Six of Pentacles. So here's the Four of Wands that almost looks like they might be leaving on a honeymoon or something, which came in over the Strength card with the bride. Here's a Seven of Pentacles, kind of waiting, watching things grow. And the Six of Pentacles again over here. So those Six of Pentacles, 3 of them came up in your future position. And so there's no lack of love or gifts or money. If you're worried about finances, making a move, there's no lack here. And a Capricorn moon is like a good time to make these big decisions in your life, okay? So if this is regarding love for some of you, I'm just going to pull a couple more. Is this regarding love? Is this regarding work? What is this regarding? Interesting that I pulled 3 majors as I was asking those questions. So I asked, is it love? And he's laughing. There's the Stairway to Heaven. He's laughing. It's the Hierophant. So it's like, yes, it's love, but it's like the bigger love. It's not just like relationship love, which I think is a big love too, but it's kind of a reflection of the divine. I asked if it was work, and I got the High Priestess upside down. This is about your relationship, again, with your higher power, with yourself. It's a very feminine card, and it's a 2. It's a relationship. So yes, it could be all of these things. However, this applies to you. And then the Hanged Man, I said, what is this really about? This is your second time getting the Hanged Man, and both times they're women. So this is kind of almost a card of surrender in a way, with that way she's doing the trapeze and she's just opening, and it's opening our heart and opening our chest. So the message I get from this is that there are some big changes that you need to make when you are ready. And so now is a good time to contemplate your next move. And there may be a big move, and it may come out of the blue. You may just decide, okay, now I'm ready. And you need to give yourself space to rest, recharge, but know that that's part of the moving forward, and there's no lack here. Okay, so let me roll a few dice. And we've got Uranus, Sagittarius, 12th house. Okay, Uranus rules Aquarius. We know Uranus is trining this full moon, this positive aspect. So it's kind of helping it out. Uranus, I actually felt Uranus here in the Strength card with that tornado back there. Powerful air energy comes in and brings great change. Sagittarius, bigger picture. This Hierophant is definitely a Sagittarius card. And 12th house is last house of the zodiac. It's Pisces house. It's the house of karma. It's the house of, they call it the house of undoing. And so sometimes this is clearing up old karmic behavior, old past behavior from lifetimes. But there is something that you're ready to walk away from, and there are ample gifts as you do so. Happy full moon. Pile number 3, be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon. So cardinal sign leads off the season, right? So we know when the sun is in Capricorn, we're going into winter. So it's that strong push to bring in the change. And so be bold and make the first move. And then your little heart here is a piece of petrified wood. And it's interesting because like that feels so Capricorn in a way, like long, like it's been sitting so long, that piece of wood, that it actually turns into stone. That's pretty wild. Okay, so let's see how this plays out for you this full moon week. What you need to know to make the best of it. Working with a few different decks here. Starting off, I haven't looked at any of these. This is the Modern Witch, and you're starting off with the Hermit. And I love this Hermit. I love that she's like looking at her laptop, because the Hermit's searching for truth, right? And so, and it rules health and wellness, and it rules your service to this world. She's kind of just peeking in at the computer. It almost feels like she's about ready to close it. It's very easy to kind of be all work all the time these days with the internet. Heart of the matter, we have the Queen of Cups. And she's almost like stepping away from that. Like, whoo, okay, let me get back into my space, connection, clarity. Let's see what's supporting the heart of the matter is the Chariot from the Light Seers Tarot. Great deck. So the Chariot is supporting your heart of your matter. The Chariot wants you to move forward on your spiritual path. Speaking of be bold and make the first move, he's on top of that Chariot. Queen of Cups is water energy, could be Cancer energy. We're in Cancer season. And then the Chariot is ruled by the moon, and it's associated with the sign Cancer. So this is about paying attention to your body, to your feelings. I keep talking about paying attention to where you feel dread, where you feel, oh, I don't want to do that, because you know that it's not aligning to you. This is a good time during a Saturn retrograde to kind of clear out your calendar, clear up what it is that doesn't work for you, where you're feeling dread in that calendar, moving things around, omitting things, saying no, okay? Because this is watery energy here. So I want you to be really in tune to how you're feeling. Your foundation card is the Seven of Challenges, or Seven of Swords. I'm sorry, Seeker of Challenges. Seeker of Challenges would be the Knight of Swords. All guarded up, ready for action. Ready, but protected. In the background, we have the Four of Challenges, or Four of Swords. This magic tree giving fruit. It's in the background. We have the Ace of Wands in the background also. Something new, something passionate. Seems that I have an extra card here. Okay, here's the Hangman. He's been showing up a lot in these readings. It's card of divine delay. And interesting because like this Four of Challenges, Four of Swords is like a delay card also. So it's in the background and it's showing in the future position also. So you may feel things that aren't moving. Maybe you have a really great idea, Ace of Wands, and then you want to take action. You want to move forward, but yet there's still delay. But doesn't mean that it's not happening. Here's the oldest one, the Hierophant. It's like things take time, right, to build to this mighty tree. And, you know, like this petrified wood, it takes time to develop. And we got a bonus card here, and it's the Eight of Cups. And this is so cool. It almost looks like she's like hiking in like the mountains here, or some national park. So I'm kind of getting the idea that like maybe it's time for you to step away. Like you've been very fixated on something. You've been trying to move ahead with something. Almost like there's a sense of surrender, but then you're like, okay, I've surrendered. Let's move forward now. You're ready, rearing and ready to go. And then there's these delays. And the bigger picture here is that it's moving forward. It may be good for you to distract yourself now. So it might be good for you to get out and go. And then sometimes when you like step away from something, instead of like constantly checking on it, then that's when it starts to go. So you're moving through this full moon, so you can envision your project, whatever it is. It feels like it's a big, it might be work related, some kind of project that's going on. And you've been fixated for so long, it's time to kind of just take your hands off and step away, get out into nature, pause, do some meditation, connect higher, and allow it to take off, because I think it will take off. Let me pull a couple more. The Seven of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, so Seven of Wands, like here she is sitting in like this beautiful crystal ball, meditating. Seven, spiritual path. Six of Wands is a rock star card coming in the center here, and then the Knight of Pentacles, things are moving forward. So yeah, I would just like take a vacation, take a few days off, step away, take your hands off the wheel of this project for just a little bit so that it can have a life of its own. I'm gonna roll some dice. Capricorn, Uranus, Capricorn, 8th house. Okay, Uranus has been like all over this reading, and we know that Uranus is trine the full moon. So it's really involved here with the full moon. And we also know the full moon's close to Pluto, which rules Scorpio. And you did roll the 8th house, which is Scorpio. And then you rolled the sign Capricorn. So Uranus, all of a sudden, Capricorn, your project here, 8th house, Pluto. So it's, and the 8th house rules other people's money also. So it's almost like allowing it to take on a life of its own, knowing that it's going to all of a sudden take off, and you need to just kind of retreat. Like Scorpio likes to retreat into darkness. Scorpio needs its time to rest and to recharge and to clear out and to feel safe. So I would say go do something else. Step away from this for a minute and envision this full moon just bringing what you need, whether it be funding or helpful friends to make the project take off. But I see it happening, okay? So I'm just gonna pull a couple more. Is there anything else that I missed for you? The Emperor and the King of Wands. The Forest Lord, which is the Emperor. Now, it's funny because the Emperor is all about like business. It's usually the boss. He's like the person, right? The person in charge. Yet he's the Forest Lord. So he's barefoot. He's like very much in tune with nature. And that's what you need to do right now. And then we have this power source here. So go have fun. Go deal with the other parts of your life and allow whatever it is that you really are wanting to take off, allow that to take on its life of its own and take off. Okay? Happy full moon.